I feel like there is a compressed spring inside me and that at any time, should the need arise, it is ready to decompress and release loads of energy. I was living in the state of being constantly ready for action. It did not stop for many months after having moved to Lithuania. Then came the sense of security. As I walk around in Lithuania, everybody is smiling, everyone is so relaxed. I caught myself thinking that after some time, I would be like that too, and that is why I promised myself I would remember this moment and these feelings. Because it really, really is a huge difference. My name is Ilya Yasinsky. I am currently living in Vilnius, working at a school and in a tavern. I also star in a play. In Belarus, before any play is made available to the public, it must first be viewed by representatives of the Ministry of Culture. They were sat in the audience, constantly making notes, and then talking with the director and the artistic director. They never approached the actors. Sometimes you could lock eyes with them, and they would let us, actors, know if it is okay or not by winking at us. It was the very beginning. It was clear that people were becoming more active and engaged. The protests started on the election day. I would take part in them until the very end. I joined them whenever possible. On a Thursday, we were staging Richard III. The actor on the stage is delivering Richard's final monologue. I go backstage and check my phone. I see a message that the death of Bondarenko has been confirmed. We get back on stage. Bowing, there are flowers. So many different emotions all at once. It is possible that I still do not fully understand what I felt at that time. My feelings were truly mixed. It was really a turning point for me. We needed to understand what we were going to do next. On Friday, there were protests everywhere across Minsk. There was a moment of silence. Then there was the march on Sunday. They were already trying to disperse people who showed up for protests. Any forms of gatherings were prohibited. Grenades, bullets, it was all there. Brutal arrests, batteries. In the District Department of Internal Affairs, I realized that I was unable to walk. I was held up by the soldiers and they called an ambulance for me. I ended up in the hospital with 2 vertebral fractures. The hospital room was full of people like me. At our ward, there was a guy in handcuffs. He got hit by a bus. Then they dragged him into a van and started beating him. Things like that were commonplace at that time. When I was discharged from the hospital, I was still performing in plays, although I had to wear a corset for a month. In spring, I got a phone call from the Committee of Inquiry, because during my time at the hospital, there were persecutors coming by to record my statements regarding the beating on behalf of the Persecutor General. And during the phone call with the representative of the Committee of Inquiry, I was asked to report to them regarding my previous statement, in which capacity I asked. The lawyer said I had 2 options, either go to jail or run away. Obviously, if I did end up in jail, I would be of no use. I would only be endangering my life and my health. I decided I had to leave. I starred in a play, and afterwards I got on a bus and crossed the Lithuanian border. And this is why I have lived in Lithuania ever since June 2021. My name is Jan Yasinsky. My father used to work in theaters, but since he left Belarus, he has been working at a school, sometimes at a bar. He is very energetic. He is also brave and can be a little mean. There was no one there. I had only a little money on me. But it was not especially hard for me or anything. I understood that it was a new adventure. Once I got here, it was clear that there are many Belarusians who take care of one another. I had not been counting on it, but I was immediately met with a gentle Belarusian embrace and got introduced to a part of the history of Vilnius. Here, you have time and space to think about yourself and discover what you want and what you enjoy. Yes, I really did meet representatives of the Council for Culture straight away. They were asking about my plans, what I want, what I can do, what I am considering. I met a theater manager. Now it is the old theater in Vilnius. I went there several times. They were interested in me, asking other Belarusian activists about me. I was invited to the theater. They would say that the director will come and that we will stage plays, that we will give it a go. One rehearsal took place, and as it was happening, I realized that I cannot do this right now. I am grateful to everyone, but at that time I simply was not able to cooperate. It just did not match my sense of reality. I started working at a school. It was a kind of a new chapter for me, an amazing experience, something I have never tried before. Several months later, the Belarus Free Theater announced a casting. They were looking for actors for a new play. I signed up for the casting and got invited. It is in another turn of events in my life, the Belarus Free Theater, a play entitled Dogs of Europe, a premiere in London, a tournée around the world. The premiere was planned for the beginning of March, and in February 2022, the war broke out and a part of our troupe are Ukrainian. On the following day, we found out that our video editor is already in Ukraine and no longer in the UK. Our musicians found out that their loved ones had died during the first bombing. And under these circumstances, we are releasing a play. It was literally a week or two until the premiere, and there was another turning point for me. The moment I realized that what I do matters. I realized that theater, this theater, and such a play in this place is very needed and useful.
Основна зараз частка моєї праці це
Currently, the core part of my work is at a private school. It is currently my most important mission in life. I try to do everything in my power, and I thank God that there are... Currently, the core part of my work is at a private school. It is currently my most important mission in life. I try to do everything in my power, and I thank God that there are people who also think this way. Another thing is the tavern, alongside my main job at the school. My friends and I opened a tavern called 1863, themed about the events of the January uprising. When we came to this building, we found out that our heroes used to live here, in this very building. In this place, they might have had meetings before the uprising. It was really important for me to create a space which would help bring together Belarusians in one place, and at the same time tell foreigners about our part of history, how it resonates with the present times, and with what is currently happening in the world, in Ukraine, in the Russian Federation, and then Empire.
When I met Ilya, I intuitively knew what kind of person he is, what a wise man he is, and how inspired he is by everything he does, same as I am with music and singing. For him, it was the desire to unite Belarusians who live here. The atmosphere at the tavern is great. All the Belarusian groups who come to Vilnius, for example, the Free Choir of Belarus, go straight to the tavern. They want to feel the genuine warmth which resonates here.
Many things have changed. I am very happy to be moving on. As the samurai say, there is no goal, only a path. I enjoy not the effects, but the process itself. I started looking at life, at the world differently. It makes everything worth it. Some people say they miss Minsk, others miss their village, others miss a lot of other things, and I sort of do not feel like I am longing for anything. There are many new things I have not seen yet. A few days ago, I realized that the fogs are something that I miss. They were very common in Minsk. It was so commonplace that going for an evening walk in the fog was a given. I think that the human psyche is constantly looking for a way out. Of course, I believe that everything will fall into place, but as we want it, as I want it, not right away, but through great difficulties and trials. I am trying to find out what is within my control. If there is a way, a thought, an idea which could be beneficial, I do it. If not, I am trying to get in touch with myself and understand what I can do. Once I have more strength, more resources, more skills, I will probably do something else. If you are honest and stay true to yourself, everything is going to be okay.
Мені подобається ще ті слова, які
I like the things that political prisoners who return from Belarus, from prisons, tend to say. They say, and even often write, about the internal freedom and the freedom within. There was this book, The Star Rover, which tells a story of a man who is kept in a straitjacket. He leaves his body and travels the world, meaning he is free, not his body, as freedom does not mean freedom of the body, not in the confines of a holding cell, but freedom is found within. To understand that, feel that, that is the most important thing. It would be nice if everyone across the world knew what is happening in Belarus. When I tell this story about what happened in 2020, I know that mostly only people in Belarus are familiar with it. Even Ukrainians were not aware what was happening in Belarus at that time. And Belarusians try to understand their neighbors and try to understand what is happening and where. Thank you for talking about Belarus, for not being indifferent. It is very important to us.
Щиро дякую. Для нас це вельми важливо, справді.